Yo, what's up guys? Bill here, Classic Rock and Metal Review. Time for Japan new release, bootleg update. I've got 26 titles to tell you about, come out in the last couple months. Also going to show you the half dozen I've been listening to a lot in the last week or so, which a couple of them you'll probably see separate reviews for. If you didn't get the memo, that's how I'm running things now. Reviews will be their own separate little episodes, a little more a la carte for you guys. Easier for me when I categorize them, archive them. They'll be under the file of that band name, not within these hour-long episodes. So that's the last time I'll mention that the formatting's kind of changing. And I think for the better. Already getting a lot of stuff up, and the more the merrier in my eyes. You know I don't do a show without some kind of beverage in my hand. I know, that lip smacking of mine, believe me, I try to edit it all out if I can. Let's see, before I pop it. Bell Buoy. I've showed you these guys before, Slack Tide Brewing. They're kind of local to me, South Jersey. Guy's got a ton of beers, but I've really only tried 2 or 3 of them. This is just my go-to beer now for the last 2 years. Used to be High Alive for years. Well, this took their place. 7.3 alcohol. You know, it's only 9 something in the morning here, so I'm not going to go too heavy with whiskey or something like that. Always entertaining watching me pour a beer, and nothing like a cheap plug while that goes on. Watched the cool video actually a couple months ago about the whole pour thing. You know, it really doesn't matter how old the beer is or how fast you pour it, it's just how you pour it. And that's not too bad. Now I don't got everything out of here. There's a couple ounces in there, but you know what it's been like watching me pour these damn things. It can be quite a mess. That one, not too bad. Minimal wiping my hands on my shorts. All right, let's get started. Oh, by the way, if you love bootlegs, I was going to do this all in one episode, but in the spirit of the new format, just keep your eyes out. In about less than a week, hopefully, there will be a whole other episode on what I've got in the last, actually a couple months ago. It'll be my RZ Panic Buy Part 1. That's right. When Disc Japan went down, 3 or 4 days later, maybe 4 or 5 days later, I did some panic buying on RZ. And glad I did, because I caught their last half price sale and got, I think, 15 or 16 things. So we'll do Part 1 on the next bootleg episode. It'll be my bootleg haul. And during that episode, I'm going to go over the whole bootleg situation. Disc Japan, and where you can get them besides RZ. I get those questions every now and then, so I'll spend that episode addressing it. Also show you half of the titles that I got in a panic buy. Back in late summer, early September, something like that. And most of them haven't even listened to yet, but we'll check them all out. Keep your eyes out for that. Let's get started, and starting out with another Kiss onslaught. It's pretty much every month. Every once in a while you get a month where there's only 1 or 2 Kiss titles. Not this month. I think there are a half dozen. I'm also, along the way here, guys, going to show you my half dozen picks of the month out of these 26. Let's get going. Kiss, first half dozen titles are Kiss. Sydney 1980 Pre-FM Master. This is at the Sydney Showground, November 10th, 1980. Zodiac's the label, so they're silver presses as always from Zodiac. 2 CDs. And this one is a real nice job with the bonus tracks. You get an FM broadcast of 9 of the songs that are on the full show, and 2 sort of unique versions. Talk to Me and Back in the New York Groove. One was on a Japan only, You Wanted the Best. Talk to Me, I think, was on some sort of Best Buy exclusive CD. Exclusive version of that song. Also an option to get the bonus DVD-R called The Inner Sanctum Australia TV Special. The original special was 44 minutes. You get that raw version, and then I think you get an updated version. Not sure the difference, but that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that when I announced that on the video episode. There's 2 versions of it on there. This is a slam dunk recommendation, obviously. The only thing holding me back, well, it's 2 things. I just got this earlier this year. So I think it's pretty much the same set list. Auckland 1980, so New Zealand, December 3rd. So pretty close to the same era. I got a show from that era, and it's great. But also, in my way is Christmas. I got to buy things for other people. So annoying. All right, so on the number 2, this is another pick of the month. So I think there's actually 7 of them. East Lansing, 1974, First Night Soundboard. Nice big title there. We're at the brewery in Michigan. This is supposed to be an upgrade and longer version. Again, it's on Zodiac Silver Press. Zodiac, you rule. Number 3, Detroit, 1984, the complete FM broadcast master. Another mouthful. Cobo Arena in Michigan again. Upgrade, and this one's also longer by 13 minutes longer. Zodiac again, December 8th, 1984. On the Animalized tour, bonus tracks are from Rochester, New York. We're in the Bruce Kulick area here, obviously. Another optional DVD are the Animalized Live and Uncensored. It was originally the VHS tape. I don't even know. I guess maybe Beta 2. And Laserdisc release from, I guess it was out in 85 since the concert was late 84. Never put on DVD, so as an option, for an extra few bucks usually, you get that nice DVD-R option. Number 4, the definitive unreleased outtakes masters. 3 CDs of 1969 to 1985 Rare Kiss. Zodiac again. Demos. Outtakes from even pre-Kiss material, as you can imagine with that date. Outtakes from the solo album sessions from 78. More rare and outtakes of Kiss. More solo stuff from the 80s. Etc., etc. And it appears to try to avoid anything that's already been released. So this is an automatic pickup for Kiss maniacs. I love Kiss. I don't think I need 3 CDs of outtakes. Then again, if I had all the money in the world, of course. Here's another pick. This one's for me because I don't have a 76 bootleg of Kiss, believe it or not. Cleveland 1976 soundboard. Single CD from Zodiac. Richfield Coliseum, September 3rd of 76. I mean, take your pick. There's plenty of 76 soundboards out there. So this one just looks as good as any to me. Now, last Kiss title, Lakeland, 1979 rehearsal soundboard. We're at the Civic Center in Florida, June 11th, 1979. Double CD from Zodiac. And fortunately, there's only 1 or 2 songs where I guess they repeat the song. So it's basically the full set list, which is pretty cool. Now, the only thing I'm hesitating a little bit about this one would be, well, again, 2 things. I do have Knoxville 79 soundboard, so I do have a title from this year. And the other thing is sometimes these rehearsals, they're not given full effort kind of thing. Obviously, no crowd there. So, but still really interesting title if you're a Kiss collector. Pretty awesome, right? You get a million concerts, not a whole lot of full rehearsals that are soundboard. All right, on to some other people, and on to a little bit of a drink here. Let me get my cheap plug in at the same time. Do a little homework while I'm sipping. This is actually a pretty cool title. Man, you know, it's just really cool being into music and still learning shit. I'm constantly learning stuff. A lot of it because of this channel. Eric Clapton. Blues, United States original cassette tapes. Non-label on this guy. 2 CDs taken from, you guessed it, the original American cassettes of this title called Blues. And silver presses on this non-label release. Released on cassette and CD only, so there was no vinyl. Released in 1999. So the cassettes are the only analog version of this collection. Now you might be thinking, well, why do I need a collection of blues songs from Eric Clapton? It's blues on every album. It's kind of a unique release. There are roughly, I don't know if I had to guess, 40% of the songs basic releases from the album. However, a good amount of it is an interesting collection of live stuff, unreleased stuff, and outtakes. So, and that material actually is from 1970 to 1981 only. So it's prime Clapton material. Rarities and outtakes. Not the whole way through, but a good amount of it. So here's your analog way to get it on double CD. Here's another pick of the month. Rolling Stones, Paris 1970 Second Night Soundboard. Another non-label silver press CD. Supposed to be an upgrade. I guess there was an earlier release. And it's from September 23rd, 1970. Looks pretty cool. Another, can't not recommend this one. Rolling Stones Complete Lacerated, non-label. This one's 2 silver press CDs, 1978 United States tour, soundboard collection from various cities. Can't go wrong on the Some Girls tour. All right, number 10, White Snake Brighton 1978 soundboard, single CD from Zodiac, November 1st. We're at Brighton Dome, UK. Another White Snake release, Hanley 1978 soundboard, single CD from Zodiac, 6 nights later. November 7th, 1978. We're in Staffordshire, England. Queen Ultimate Buenos Aires 1981 soundboard, double CD on the Wardour label, silver press CDs on that guy. Gary Moore, Hamburg 2000. Zodiac release, double CD from March 13th of 2000. Motley Crue, San Antonio 1983. Zodiac release, it's December 1st, 1983, San Antonio, Texas, obviously. Now, I got this title a few years ago when it first came out. And here she is, Civic Center, if I didn't already say that. Now, mine's listed as, let's see, stereo soundboard recording. To my ears, it's more of just an FM broadcast recording. You know, it's not direct from the soundboard. And there's 2 ways you can get an FM broadcast. It could be from the radio station master, the one they played, or it could be somebody recorded off the radio. So, you know, when you see these FM broadcasts or soundboard, in this case, it just says stereo soundboard. Doesn't sound soundboard to me at all. Sounds like somebody recorded it off the radio. And it's okay. It's just not great sound. Now, maybe this new version has improved sound. You know, but this is only like 3 years old, if I remember right. And, you know, so I already got this guy. Now, this one, new title, does offer you the same offer I had, the bonus DVD-R of Crue at the Oz Festival 1983. Now, this is awesome, you know, so I would say if you don't have San Antonio, you need it, right? And grab the bonus DVD-R while you're there. Now, I was telling you guys in the video episode that I just watched this Who title. Man, I had my eyes on this thing in Disc Japan's bargain bin for months. $7 silver press DVD of a Pro Shot concert, San Diego, October of 82 on the final tour. And because they never toured again, I mean, I had to get it, you know, eventually. And I just got to watching it a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point. It's really, really cool. And you get some backstage footage for 5 minutes before the show starts, which is kind of cool. But the whole entire show's here, and it's a really good show. And for someone like me that's not a super huge fan, it's basically because of the final tour, kind of condensed version of their career, you know. Really just skimming the greatest hits. And because I haven't listened to the radio much in the last 15, 20 years, I'm good with greatest hits of The Who right now. And the reason I'm saying all that, just coincidentally, we get a release from The Who from that same tour. This one seems new to market. New Jersey, 1982 soundboard. Brendan Byrne Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And it's around the same date as this video I got. October 10th, 1982. Wardour's your label again. 2 silver press CDs. And what's cool about this one, if you're a completist with The Who, Athena was played this night. Wasn't played on that video I got. And apparently wasn't played on the other soundboard releases from that tour. So this would be another pick of the month. I'm only really super into that right now because of that video. It's really cool. Kansas, Springfield, 1979 soundboard. Virtuoso's the label. 2 CDs. I believe they're silver press. I didn't write it down. Civic Center, September 2, 1979. Cool looking title for Kansas fans. And a good era, I think. Def Leppard, Las Vegas, 2013. Second night, IEM mix. Zodiac's your label, March 23rd, 2013 was the night of this concert. So this is a 10th anniversary sort of remix of this 3-source in-ear monitor mix. Sort of a revisit, remaster, whatever you want to call it. 2 CDs from that show. Black Crowes, pretty cool title from these guys. Tampa 1995 soundboard on Zodiac, single CD. We're at Tampa Stadium on April 7th, 1995. I think that's the Amorica tour. Pretty good album. Now here's another pick of the month. I might be out of control with these picks of the month. There's a lot of good stuff. Scorpions, definitive Costa Mesa 1984 soundboard. Zodiac's your label again. Masters of metal they are. Double CD from April 28th, 1984. Pacific Amphitheater. So 6 shows were recorded to make the Worldwide Live album. This being one. So this is also being called the real Worldwide Live. No overdubs, which obviously they did for the live album. And I have to tell you, I remember having Worldwide Live when it was new back in the day. I don't have it anymore. And I really barely listened to it back then. I really had a thing for albums sounding like, I just didn't enjoy albums that sounded like records with crowd noise in between them. I kind of got that feeling back in 85 about that. So this would be cool for me to grab. I think this was already out, and this is sort of a reprint, if I'm not mistaken. Toto Budokan 2023 Original IEM. Double CD on Zion label. It's a July 21st show from earlier this year, Tokyo. Those in-ear monitor grabs sometimes are cool. Then you're generally kind of a little bit of a flat sound. Generally don't really hear much of the audience, if anything. So not for everyone. Genesis live test pressing, double album live on a single CD. The third press of this thing. Virtuoso's the label, originally first came out in 2017. This was recorded February 24th and 25th, 1973 in the UK. There's an optional bonus DVD-R live at Shepperton's Film Studios from October of 1973. It's over an hour of pro shot footage. I think it's the original 16mm film on the bonus DVD-R. Eric Clapton again, Osaka 1974 First Night Soundboard, November 5th, 74. We're in Japan, obviously. Tricone's the label. Don't know if I heard of those guys before. Double CD. Last 3 songs are an audience soundboard matrix. Travel in Wilburys, the story of the Travel in Wilburys, Volume 5, the final chapter. Wonderland Records, the label. 4 CDs, 2 DVDs covering the 87 to 90 era. That's all they lasted. Outtakes, rehearsals, rarities, etc. Tears for Fears, BBC Radio 2 in the Park. This is a CDR, DVD-R combo from Uxbridge, live at Victoria Park, September 16th, 2023. Judas Priest, definitive Albuquerque, 1984 soundboard, Zodiac. We're at Tingley Coliseum in New Mexico, May 2nd, 1984. Defenders Tour, obviously. 2 CDs, silver presses. And you know what, guys? I threw this in my cart right away. And then I realized I already have it. I kind of thought I did. I was going to make sure I checked before I ordered it. And Definitive Jawbreaker was the original title of this a year or two ago. A couple years ago, I guess. And I think I went over this a little bit in one of the other shows. Might have been talking about, kind of don't remember now. Oh, when we did the whole I was there thing for this show. Priest Defenders Tour. Anyway, if you haven't got this, it's great. I think Halford sounded better. He's the voice is a little worse for wear at this show, but overall sounds really good. Great soundboard show. Priest. That's got to be a pick of the month if you don't have it. Bon Jovi Landover 1987 soundboard on Zodiac. 2 CDs at the Capitol Center, July 21st of 87. Optional DVD-R called Slippin' Into the Night, Vancouver 1987. Pro shot 86-minute DVD-R. Now, save the best for last, man. Now, hold on to your hat. Get your phones ready. Get ready to order these immediately. Not 1, but 2. I can't believe 2 of these came out at once. This is killer. Kajagoogoo, London 83 and Tokyo 84. I mean, I don't know forget which one to get first. They're both ordered. I'll tell you. Man, who's ordering Kajagoogoo bootlegs? Some of these titles just make you laugh. I mean, there's no other way to, describe it. All right, let me get a sip here. Let's get to half dozen titles. I think you'll be seeing reviews for a couple of these coming soon. Let's start out with, this is just what I've been listening to in the last couple of weeks. Thin Lizzy, Thunder and Lightning demos. Pretty cool. The sound quality is not great. It's pretty rough. It's in like this 6.5, 7 range, you know. A little tape hiss and sound not really equalized too great. They're not horrible. It's definitely listenable. Just makes me want that deluxe edition of this album even more, which is pretty pricey, but someday. Allman Brothers, you know, I did a whole thing about that New Year's Eve. Well, let's put it this way. I have a New Year's Eve show from 73, December 31st, and it's phenomenal. It's also like 4 hours long, and this is the very next night, New Year's night, so January 1st of 74. A bunch of special guests on the end. Wasn't really too into this, have to tell you. A lot of straight up blues at the end of the show, I guess to accommodate these special guests who aren't going to know intricate Allman Brothers songs, so we pull out some old standards. And honestly, I'm not a huge straight up blues fan. I like my share of it, but I don't really want to hear it for 45 minutes or an hour straight, especially when I'm trying to listen to some Allman Brothers. But not a bad title, sounds pretty good and all, but wasn't as great as I was hoping. Now this Roger Waters, Radio Chaos on the Road. Double CD, for some reason in Fat Boy case that could hold 4. What I was after this for primarily was the show from Quebec City, November 7th, 87. I used to have this back in the early 90s from a buddy of mine taped it for me. Great sounding show. Haven't heard it in so long though, I was really looking forward to it. Like I never really loved it, but I kind of wanted to hear it again. It's a little disappointing. The sound really isn't much better than what I remembered. It was always kind of thin, you know. And the material, when it comes to the Floyd songs, they're abbreviated versions for at least half of them are, you know. And it was cool to listen to it, but honestly, disc 2, that is a totally different beast, is really good. So it's a cool title. That's the London Wembley Arena show that was like sort of a simulcast thing, not a full concert. It's only 12 songs, but they squeeze all 8 songs from Radio Chaos in there. So it's the whole Radio Chaos live, a couple of Floyd ones sprinkled in there with great sound quality and just really cool to hear the entire Chaos. A couple of other odds and ends from Floyd in there. Versus the 21 song version from Quebec City with thin sound and only 3 songs from Chaos. So this one threw me for a loop. What I expected to really like was just okay, and the throw-in to me is where this is worth having. Roger Waters, Radio Chaos on the Road. Another one, now I only listened to this once, so I don't want to say this for sure yet. But 1989, Japan, Blue Murder. Man, I just got that debut. Never heard it before until earlier this year, and I love that thing. This was a little disappointing. I really thought I'd be looking forward to the whole show, but some of the cover songs they do on here, Hot Legs and Still of the Night, Closer by the Firm, they really don't do too much for me. I'm not really into John Sykes' sort of between song, you know, frontman thing. It's all pretty much the same the entire show, you know. The last word of every sentence that he says is screamed. You know, I don't know, it just gets a little annoying after a while. That's probably some first listen shit though, I'll be honest. You pick up these things first listen that don't bother you later on. I realize that. So I only listened to it once. Now the main part of the show where they play the whole first album for the most part, that's pretty good. However, I didn't really hear enough of Tony Franklin's bass, which is really what I loved about that debut album, you know, or one of the things I loved. So this was a little disappointing in a way, first listen, but I'm ready to go dive back in. It's been about a month for my second listen to that guy. Now here's one that did not disappoint. I didn't have huge expectations. It's a CDR, AC/DC Live in Brussels 1982. Just listening to this morning for the 3rd time. It's good. The sound is a little here and there. It's soundboard, but mono soundboard. Bass, drum, floor tom can be a little on the loud side. But Brian Johnson's loud and clear. Guitar's pretty clear. Can't really hear the bass too much. But overall, it's a pretty good sounding show. And did AC/DC ever do a bad concert? Not really, right? Here's another cool title that kind of caught me off guard. An RZ throw-in. And it was $10 for 2 CDRs. and I got it half price, so it was $5. How do you not? Deep Purple in concert, Pop Spectacular, 1970 and 1972. I didn't realize this at the time. It's already released officially. However, that's, I'm assuming, just concert. I haven't listened to it, I don't own it. In concert, I think it's called the same thing, pretty much. This one just adds the Pop Spectacular, I guess the original BBC title to the show. Now these are taken from, unlike the regular album, I'm assuming, from the original BBC transcription discs. So you get all the introductions by DJs or the host. John Peel's on the 1970 version. I forget the name of the bloke on the 72 stuff. But I really like hearing the intros and things. In fact, I think I used to have the 72 show on a bootleg tape. And if I remember right, I think I lost it pretty quick. I had it, late 80s, and I feel like I only heard it a few times, and then I just don't know where it went. So it was cool revisiting that, because I had only heard it a few times to begin with. The 70s show, turns out, I think I had this on a cassette back in the day. So, just an interesting revisit here for me, and I didn't even realize it at the time when I bought it. So, cool pickup there off of RZ for $5 for a double CD package. CDR. My initial problem with CDRs, guys, I bought like 10 of them, and I had like 3 of them skip, maybe 4, something like that. Haven't had really any problems since, so whatever. Had a little bad run, and running out of silver presses to buy that are soundboard. So on with the CDRs. Guys, that's going to do it for now. That is our bootleg new release update from Japan, and also what I've been listening to lately. If you're going to see any reviews coming soon out of this batch, it will probably be that and that. Maybe that Roger Waters too. And keep your notifications on. I'll be doing a whole separate bootleg episode where we talk about where to get them, things like that. What's up with this Japan bullshit. And also show you my part 1 of my RZ panic buy that I did back in this early September, when I assumed this Japan was shut down for good. Once I realized that, went over to RZ and got 15 or 20 things. I'll show you half of them, all coming up next. Guys, have a great friggin' rest of your